Hello and welcome to Fighting Fit.
And I just touched a double left out and just boom.
When you get into coaching and you get to realise that you've got to be able to cope and deal with any different style and type.
People champ! The champ is here!
And then somebody can win with a big block of cocaine.
We find out that nobody diagnosed Tommy with HIV.
Can you hear me, pal?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Good, all good.
How you doing?
I'm alright, mate. Are you? Where are you from?
Yeah,
That's a
good.
strong accent, isn't it? Newcastle.
Sunderland.
That's a strong one, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you from Hull?
No, I'm from like near Barnsley, mate. You know where Leeds is?
Yeah.
You know where Barnsley is? I'm in between them two.
Right.
It's
So where's
called
that?
Emsworth.
All right. Okay. No, I've not heard of Hemsworth before.
Nah, you ain't, mate. It's a little village just full of nobodies, really.
Yeah.
Full of nobodies trying to be somebodies. That's all it is. It's just a little, just your typical little town full of takeaways and pubs and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're gonna put Hemsworth on the map?
That's what I'm trying to do, mate. I were annoyed my last fight because they said from Hull, but I'm not from Hull. I just train in Hull, obviously, because the coach is from Hull. I'm trying to put Emsworth on map.
So who you've been coached by at the minute? Because it was that Damien from Legions who messaged me, mate, about getting in touch with you.
Yeah. I've been with Stevie since I've been 11 years old. At Hull, at Codie Smith Boxing Academy. It was Hull Boxing Centre as well, but it's changed names now. I've been with Stevie since I've been a kid, so I've turned pro with Stevie as well. It's only right, I think, loyalty.
Yeah, definitely. So, how did you find you? Like, we're recording now, by the way. I didn't see it. Right. So your first pro fight, like I just watched it there. It was a good performance. Yeah. How did you feel?
It was all right, mate. To be fair, I had any issues with my training camp. Because obviously I'm doing 4-round fights. I do a 6-week training camp. Halfway through, I found out I've got irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. So that were affecting me. I was getting poorly. So 3 weeks out of that 6-week training camp, I were in and out at doctors, in bed. Because obviously, when you're training, you've got to get your fuel back into you. And I wasn't able to get nutrients because I was literally eating things what I shouldn't have been eating. What I didn't know, what I didn't know was triggering my IBS off, and it was coming straight through me. So now I've got that sorted. I think my next performance will be special. But considering everything what went off, it was good. I enjoyed it. And I've got ball rolling now, so that's what we're all about.
Yeah. So what do you do differently to like manage that when you're on about the IBS?
I don't agree with taking all these tablets. You know what doctors give you? They give you tablets. They give you this. They give you that. I've tried doing it natural. So I've got on something called bone broth. It's like cow. Well, I've got beef and I've got chicken bone broth. It's really good for you, mate. It's like boiled down, in bone marrow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I have that every day, and that I've been eating that, and I've been eating a lot of red meat, and it seems to have really helped my stomach.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
That's main change I've had with that problem, that IBS problem. But I am still seeing specialists. It's all about getting you that 1% better. So if I can see a specialist, and I might be allergic to say wheat, if I can cut wheat out and substitute it for something else, then it'll make me even that 1% better.
Yeah, definitely. And then you were talking about your second fight there, because it's on the 15th of July now, isn't it? It's been
15th of July now, it got postponed, which I was gutted about, obviously, because I was well on my way in training camp. This would have been my last week of training now before tapering it down and cutting weight and stuff. But these things happen in boxing. You've got to get on with it. You've got to learn to be robust and adjust your mind, adjust your mindset. So really, it's a blessing in disguise as I see it, because maybe one day when I'm training for a fight and I'm main eventing, someone will pull out on me, and it could happen. So it's all learning, mate. It's all experience for me. And that's what I take it as. You can take it in a negative, or it got postponed, I need to have a week off. You know what I mean? Because because you're ahead of camp then. Because I only do a 6-week camp, so I was 4 week in, and now it's being pushed back to another 5 week from now. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've done a 10 week camp by the time I've come round, but I'm on 6 round fates next, so I'm it's all experience for me, and I should be training like this anyway. So it's all good. I enjoy it, mate. I enjoy training. It's all I do. It's my life. So that's it. Pissed me off a bit to start with, obviously, because I wanted to get out there. You know what? It's like it's in your box. You send you train and you want to get out there. You want to fight, but so when you can't fight, well, I can fight. It's just being pushed back. So it is what it is, mate. Well, my opponent will get what's coming to him 3 weeks later now instead of on 24th of June. He's had another 3 week not a sore jaw.
It just froze a bit there. Yeah.
Is that back on?
Well, because it's up here, isn't it? Yeah, it's back on now. I was just saying, because it's up here. It's at the Newcastle Eagles Arena, isn't it?
Is it Virtue Motors Arena in Newcastle?
Oh yeah, they've changed the name, haven't they?
Yeah, it's up there. I'm looking forward to it. It's more up north than down London for me, so I've sold a few tickets already. We're still a month to go, so I should do a fair few tickets.
Yeah, class. So where did the decision to turn pro come from? Because you're still are you only 19 now?
Yeah,
as well?
I'm only 19. Yeah. Well, I was only getting fights in championships. Yeah. Since I've been 11 years old, because obviously I've got I had a good amateur record. I won nationals. I boxed for England, and I was only getting fights in championships, and it was getting boring, mate. You know, same routine year after year from 11-year-old, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I thought, I'm only fighting, and say I have 6 fights in 6 weeks, and then I'm not fighting all year round. Yeah. And it was doing me head in, mate, and I was getting bored with it. It was same routine and unfair decisions. I had a few unfair decisions. I saw, not to disrespect England boxing because I wouldn't do that, but England, you've got to be an arse licker. I'll be honest, mate. You've got to be an arse lick to get into these, to get picked for you Europeans or get picked for. There's people on certain squads and won out since they've been 12, 13 year old, and they're still on them because maybe one of the coaches like him. You know what I mean? It's a click. And I were on squad, so I'm not saying that out of spite and out of envy of someone else, because I've done it all. I've been there. I've done my GB assessments, so I've been on it just as well. But I can see certain people clicking with certain coaches, and that's the reason why they're on squads. And that, to me, it's not. You're not on there because what you know. You're on there because of who you know. And that was one of the reasons. Like I said, only fighting in championships, and I've never had no desire to be an Olympian or to be a. My goal's always been to be a world champion, professional, and earn a lot of money. You know what I mean? That's what we all want in life. We want nice cars, nice clothes, money, and probably you share the same dream as me, world champion. Yeah, that's what we all want. So, well, and I couldn't. There's no route of being a. If you get to an Olympian, yeah, but how many? Me personally, I think the people who have turned over earlier. So yeah, Javonta Davis, all these people. I feel like because they've had that experience from turning over young. They've built a lot more momentum in pro game than they have in amateurs. Than they would have been amateurs if they stayed amateur, doing them 3-minute rounds. So that was my thought process behind it. If I turn pro young, get the experience, by the time I'm 25 and that, I'll be looking to fight for major titles. Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of people thinking similar, because I think it's a bit of a trend recently where people are turning. I've seen a lot of younger people who I used to be on squads with and that turning professional. So I think people are clicking on. I don't know what they're clicking onto, but I've certainly enjoyed my life a lot more. I think it's mint, mate, being professional. Yeah. So was your last amateur fight in the boys' clubs? Yeah, we're in boys' clubs, yeah. Because I was in the other ring when it was happening. I remember I was the bouncer in the ring. Yeah. You were boxing, yeah. Yeah, because I remember it
people complaining about the decision and stuff and saying that
mate,
it was an unfair decision.
In my head before that fight, that were already my last amateur fight. You know what I mean? I won that fight easy, mate. I've lost, like I lost in NAC finals, and better man beat me on day. You know what I mean? And I can take a loss, but when you're getting ripped off, mate, and you're getting bad decisions like that, I think it's there's no else you can do about it. It's not fair, mate. When as a kid, when you're putting your all into something and then it gets took out of your hands and given to someone else unfairly, that to me doesn't sit well. So I didn't have best reaction to that. Anyone who were there would have known I didn't have best reaction to that. But we move on, and I'm happy about amateur days. I wouldn't change out, mate. To be fair, I did what I had to do. I see amateur as an apprenticeship. I passed my apprenticeship. I won national titles. I've got a unbelievable amateur record. I've sparred with best people in country. I've boxed best people in country. I've beat best people in country. So for me now, my next goal is to start ripping up pro game.
Yeah. So for the people who like haven't watched you box and don't know yet, how would you describe your style?
It's funny because me and my dad were watching Kell Brook the other day, and Kell a bit like Kell Brook in his prime, can box, can fight, a bit like Canelo. But only difference between me and them is I'm good looking and they're not. That's the only difference. So obviously, if you had looks and I can talk better than them, so if you had looks and I can talk better, but that fighting style, I think if with a little bit of luck and all my hard work, staying on right path, I think I'll be a superstar, mate.
Yeah, well, I hope so. And the signed for Wasserman now, aren't you?
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
Stevie used to be coached, be promoted by their dad.
All right, like the Sowlands dad.
Yeah, Sowlands dad, yeah. Calla and Nissa's dad. Yeah. So Stevie had a contact with them. We went and met him. There's not many genuine people in boxing, and me and my dad, Stevie, went down, met him in offices, and it went well, mate. The nice, genuine people, and they've got a massive platform. They work with everyone, whereas like Matchroom are only signed to DAZN and Boxers only signed to Sky. With Wasserman, they work with people. So 1 minute I could be on a Sky show, I'm on DAZN in this next fight, Channel 5. You know what I mean? Exposure's massive, and I feel like I've made the right decision.
Yeah, well, definitely. So you're on about stepping up to 6 rounds. Is that the one after this fight, or is that for your next fight?
My next fight, this is my last 4-rounder. Yeah. And then I'm on 6 rounders. Yeah.
So how many would you like to get in like the rest of the year?
I'm out July 15th. Don't know if I'm even allowed to say this. Then 1st of September. I believe I'm out 1st September, and hopefully one more after 1st September, November. Yeah, maybe December after. Yeah. So July 15th, September, maybe December to end the year out, and then crack on back January, February time.
Yeah. So are you someone who sets like times for when you want to achieve certain things, like in like 2 years time, where do you want to be and things like that?
Yeah, I've got I just want this first year, I want to build experience. I'm using this first year to get used to pro game, different gloves, no vest on, obviously, longer rounds, different atmospheres, different environments, and then end of next year, I want to be cracking on for central areas, English titles. I know what level I'm at already. Just from sparring certain people. You know what I mean? I know what level I'm at, and I know what I'm capable of, and so do my team. So eventually, end of next year, I do think I'll be fighting for some sort of title. I don't know what it'll be, but just getting experience these first couple of years, and then year after, 3rd year, maybe start picking some sort of fighting for British titles.
Yeah, so what weight would it be that you'd be wanting to box for titles at?
I do believe I'll probably... I'm 19, so I could shoot up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My dad's a late developer. My dad didn't even have pubes till a 17-year-old. You know what I mean? So my dad's a late developer, and my brother's same. My brother's only slim build. He's 20. So, but I'm hoping I shoot up because I hear you are more money there is. So, but I do reckon super feather. What's after that? Lightweight, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, lightweight. Probably end up a lightweight in next couple of years. Because I'm 5'8", so maybe like Teofimo Lopez's size. Quite small but wide, maybe. But I can't say how much I'm gonna grow. I could stay a midget all my life, or I could shoot up. Like my dad won my height, was 5'7", and then he turned like 19, 20, and he shot up to 6 foot. You know what I mean? So you never know.
Yeah.
You never know, mate. Hopefully I shoot up to 6 foot and get me some more women then.
See, I think I'm the opposite. I don't think I've grown since I was about 14.
Well, I bet you're tall though, aren't you?
But yeah.
That's what I mean. So you're an early developer.
Yeah.
You're an early developer. You'll have been shot up, and then everyone will be catching you up now. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
Just depends what card you get dealt. But I've been dealt wrong deck, I think. Apart from being good looking, that's the only one I've got. Good looking, I can fate. But apart from
can't have everything, can you? You know what I mean?
You can't have everything, mate. You can't. To be fair, mate, as well, it's better for me as well because when I'm fating tall people, the wide up and to over and right up at top. So that's my shot as well. So I've worked it in my favour.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Teofimo Lopez there. Did you watch his last fight against Josh Taylor?
Mate, he performed well, didn't he? I think he had everyone tricked with that because everyone thought he was doubting his sen and he was finished, with that.
Yeah.
He said, do I still have it? And that in his last fight. And I think everyone slept on me and he went and did that. So I was buzzing, mate. But obviously I want to talk Josh Taylor to win. He's Scottish from near us. But better man won at night. That's boxing. I don't think he should have retired though. I'd have liked to see him fight people like Devin Haney, Cambosis rematch. There's some good fights. That could be a golden era, that 135 and 140. If all them start mixing it together, because Ryan Garcia's gone up there. There's that Rolly Romero, Davis, Haney, Shakur Stevenson now. That 135 to 140, if they can make a few catch weights, like a 137.
Yeah.
It'd be unbelievable, mate. It'd be like the golden era from back in the day, Sugar Ray Leonard and all them.
Yeah, honestly, there's loads of great fights to make around them weights.
Mate, boxing's coming back booming, and it's coming back booming to littler ones. So everyone's getting bored of these heavyweights now, saying, "Oh, I'm going to fight him," and then 2 weeks later, I'm not going to fight him, and then 2 weeks later, they're fighting someone who's ranked 50th in world. You know what I mean? Not everyone's getting bored of that. If you noticed, a couple of years ago, when Anthony Joshua got seen, it changed from Mayweather to heavyweights again. And then now it's coming back down from heavyweight. It's coming back down to us little ones. So pay me the money.
Yeah, good for you, innit?
I know. Pay us the money.
So, do you think Teofimo will stay retired then, or do you think it was like he'll wait out?
I think he's blagging, mate. I think he knows now he can, with certain things he says, he can capture public's imagination and blag them and kind of play mind games with public. From that "do I still have it" thing. Is playing mind games. I think he'll retire for a bit. Like Mayweather, I think he retired like 3 times, didn't he?
Yeah, well, it's a common thing now. Fury did it a couple of fights ago as well, didn't he?
Yeah, people retire. I think it's just to get a bit of media coverage, for media to say the name or so and so's retired, and then he's come back. It's a mad game. This boxing. People think it's all just boxing, but there's a lot of fucking games in it.
Oh, definitely. Well, I think even for the money as well. Because if you're retired, then suddenly everyone's everyone's sending you different offers to try and tempt you to come back.
Exactly, to tempt you to come back, and then I might retire. After my next fight, see what happens.
After 2 fights, 2-0 as a pro, and then
2-0, and then dip. Too hard, mate. Too hard of a game. Can't handle it no more.
Yeah.
Go into modelling.
So, how's the training been? Any different between amateur and pro? Because I know you've been saying about 6 weeks.
It's been miles different, mate. Yeah. Even though I'm still doing 4-rounders, just whole approach, like no rushed. You know what I mean? We're training for longer. We're training 2-3 times a day. we're getting better sparring now, because a lot of pros don't want to spar with amateurs because they're fighting pros. You know what I mean? And vice versa. A lot of amateurs don't want to spar with pros because it's a slower style. So there's a massive change, mate. Are you going to go pro one day?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll see. I enjoy it a lot more, mate, because I don't know, in amateur everything seems rushed. Even your training, when you coach, train other people and everything else. When you're professional, it's hard to explain, mate, but it's just better. So my training changed, my lifestyle as well, everything. Obviously, I've got a mech 57.1 kilo day before weighing, so that's a lot better for me. I box 6 days amateur, but that 30 hour to rehydrate, I taper my training down and we focus on cutting that weight and getting it back up. It's there's a lot of different things, mate. It's not just whereas in amateurs, it's just get in there, try win. You know what I mean? 3-minute rounds, get out. And if you're fighting a quarter semis and a finals in 1 week,
you're on the next day, aren't you?
You know what I mean? Yeah, you're on next day, and it's just rushed, mate. But maybe it's a good thing. I've gathered a lot of experience from it. Because when you're fighting 3 days in a row, obviously that first day, if you get a cut or you get a bad arm, sore arm, that you've got to learn to be mentally strong enough to be able to box Saturday and Sunday, which I've done, mate. I've been poorly. I've been poorly in national championships and won them. But you just learn. You've got to learn to get on with it. That's why I say it's like an apprenticeship, because you learn these things and you learn to get over them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you turn pro, then you're mentally strong enough to deal with certain things. It's still boxing, but it's just different. It's a different sort of. One's like tag rugby and one's like rugby. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's more a man's game as a professional, but you're still boxing as an amateur. It's just a bit different.
Yeah, definitely, and especially for the pros, you can train like specifically for your opponent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas you're fighting 3 people over the weekend, you don't know who you're going to box.
Yeah, you don't even know who you're going to box. So there's that as well. It's like I've been studying my opponent now for a few weeks. Even though the journeyman, you've still got to. You can't overlook them, because if you overlook them, look at Klitschko. He got knocked out by a journeyman, and I think it was his first or second fight or something. Got knocked out by a journeyman. Certain people are these journeymen. They can actually bang. You know what I mean? It's just because they're on road. Don't mean you can take advantage. So I've been studying my opponent. My coach has been studying my opponent, and we've found gaps in his arsenal. So that's what we're going to expose on July 15th.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully I'll be there, mate, and I'll get to watch you.
Yeah, it'd be sick, mate. It'd be nice.
Right, well, cheers for coming on. I think we'll leave it there.
Right, man, mate. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, pal.
Right, no bother. See you later, mate.
See you. Bye.